Hello there and welcome to part 2 of vCenter deployment. Well, this part 2 is going to be quite demanding, so I hope my computer doesn't blow up. Let's keep the hopes up, my dudes. But anyway, so first things first, you gotta get VCSA CD in the tray or mount it. If it's Windows 10, you just gotta open ISO with Windows Explorer and you're ready to go. It's not hard at all. And then you open a folder and you click on VCSA, my apologies, and you click on the OVF file. So you double click it. It's gonna take you straight to VMware Workstation, and you gotta accept the terms of the license agreement. Click on next. Then it's gonna ask for a name for the VM. Which name should we give? vCenter 6.7 YouTube. Yeah, fair enough. Now let me just because I gotta open folders, so I'm gonna hide it for a second. Just for a second, don't worry guys. It's coming back soon to the screen. vCenter, there you go. Now you guys can see the screen again. Click next. So we're gonna go with tiny vCenter server with built-in PSC, which is a platform services controller. It's gonna need does it say 300 gigabytes disk space, 2 vCPUs, and whatever. Okay, yeah, I think we can survive that. Should we go with the tiny one without PSC? Nah, we better go with the PSC. It's probably gonna be more a bit more RAM, but we can manage. I hope. Actually, let's go just tiny. So host network IP, it's IPv4, and network mode, it's static for sure, because we gotta have a preset IP. Network IP address, it's gonna be a 192.168.15.15. It's gonna set that up. Prefix, it's only provide this when it's static. I think it's 32. It's 255.255. I really hope it is. 192.168.15, and it's 222, which is our domain controller. Host network IP address or fully qualified domain name services should use when host network identity. It is a VMware lab, right? So we can call it VCSA VM lab, like that. Wonderful. Virtual server appliance. Is it VCSA even? Yeah, I think it is VCSA, hopefully. So SSO configuration, single sign-on. We're not gonna change passwords. We're not gonna set passwords. We're gonna leave it blank from now. We can set that later, so it doesn't matter really. We can definitely leave that for later on. Host default gateway. Okay, so this one, IP address of default gateway, it's 192.168.15.1. Great. So we can import. It's gonna start importing VM, and it's gonna take some time. Actually, a lot of time. Like, oh, it's way faster now, because I'm using my local drive, so that's probably making a massive difference, because I used to do all my labs on an external drive and that would take ages to do stuff. So I was like, oh, for YouTube I better use my internal one, because we need some speed, we need some extra speed there to make the videos more watchable. Because then again, who would want to stare at importing screen, which would take 5 minutes? It doesn't make sense. Plus, it would take a lot longer to deploy the appliance, so we better just go that way, right? It's been working fine. I just hope my RAM can hold recording and also doing all the. I don't think the CPU is gonna hold actually. The CPU is probably gonna be the bottleneck. So here we gotta turn off the VM before it even starts. Power shut down. Let's wait a second before the option shows up. Okay, it's not showing up. Power shutdown, yes. We gotta shut down. And then we go to edit VM settings. Should I try lowering the RAM memory? Maybe I should. Yeah, let's try. Maybe it works straight away, because you can do that after the install. You can lower the RAM and see what he does. Actually, I want to try lowering the RAM right now. Maybe it works. Maybe it won't. We gotta give it a go, right? Okay, so 4 gigs of RAM. I hope it works. It might not, but if it works, it's gonna be amazing. So now we gotta log in to the main controller and make sure it is assigning IP and such. Let me just make sure that it's bridged. Yeah, it's bridged, which is good. So back to the main controller itself, we gotta bring up. Oh my god, it's much slower now with less RAM, which does make sense, of course. So this is gonna be doing most of the caching, I suppose. Okay, that's gonna be a lot slower than usual, but we just need it for the main controlling, so it doesn't matter really. Doesn't really matter. It's just a lot slower, but that's just for the video anyway. It's not like, oh, I mean, you probably got more RAM than me. I only got 16. Most people these days got like 32, 64 for their labs. I can't afford that, so we go with what we got. Server manager, yeah, as you can see, system's very responsive with just half a gig, but it does a trick. Surprisingly enough, it's functional. It's just not the fastest thing ever, more like pretty slow, but look at that. Would you look at that? So local server services. Okay, so DNS AD or live, we can probably launch command prompt now. If, oh yeah, okay, so let's try ns lookup vcsa vm lab. Okay, it works. Yeah, we have the address, we have the IP there. Great, so we can finally turn this baby boy on, which is our vCenter machine. I don't even know if it's gonna boot with just 4 gigabytes of RAM. Let's keep the hopes up. If it does boot, it's gonna be excellent, because, well, 10 gigs of RAM. I mean, I do have the RAM to assign, but it's gonna make things a lot slower than I would want it to be, and that's not great. Probably 4 is not gonna be enough, though. There's that. It's not even gonna boot. Well, you gotta give it a go. I mean, the odds ain't high, but who knows? If it does work, it's even better. I mean, for people with less RAM than I got, or even with 16, I mean, it's way better if you could have a 4 gig RAM machine for vCenter, and then 2 ESXi hosts with 4, even 1 more. Like, you could run 3 hosts. Let's see if it's doable or not. It's probably trying to find an IP now, and we gotta change the IP anyway, so to the one we assigned. We could create a reservation for the MAC address and shit, but it was gonna save us, what, 5 minutes? Actually, I don't think it would save time, because we would need to install the HCP and create a reservation, so I don't think that would be a huge time saver at all. Is it even gonna boot? Yeah, the hard drive is reading. There's activity going on, so it probably works. I'm gonna run through an issue soon though, once it installs, because it gets your drive spinning all the time. 100% activity. So you're probably gonna mess up with the video. We might need to cut the video before it actually starts doing that. I will see. When it happens, it happens. If the video starts cutting, you know what happened, and then I'm just gonna end the video and hope for the best. As you can see, it's now loading the system, and probably gonna throw an error because of the RAM. If it does not, it does not. Let's switch to the main controller. We're gonna open CMD again. can see the system is much more responsive now. So we can ping 192.168. I don't know the IP. Doesn't. I was gonna see if the system is operational, but then again, we don't have an IP. Okay, so it's starting the things. It's lightning fast web server with light requirements starting in the DCUI. Oh my god, is it actually gonna work? It's gonna throw an error. It's gonna be on the web client when we try to start the deployment. That's where it could actually start messing up. Starting network service. Okay, it looks promising actually. It's a good sign. I like that. I was thinking it wouldn't even load the system. I was like expecting a message like, I'm sorry, but the system does not work. And you have to redeploy. That would be such a pain. It would be such a pain. It really would. I hope we can do with less than 10 because 10 gigs is a lot. I mean, what were they thinking? Like, why? It's just a management interface for ESXi. Why does it need more RAM than ESXi itself? It does not make sense. And it uses all the RAM. I don't know if it was like, it doesn't matter if it's 10 or if it's 5 or if it's 6, it's gonna use the whole amount of RAM. I truly don't get it. You know, I truly don't get why it's like that. It's probably how it's meant to be. I don't know. Like, use the entire RAM for like faster speeds on an interface. I don't know. It's just doesn't make sense to me. You know, why would it be more demanding than ESXi itself? It's just a management interface, for God's sake, as far as I know. And, you know, it's just a random rant. I know it doesn't make sense, but why 10 gigabytes of RAM? I mean, I know corporate environments got a lot of RAM to spare, but us fellow lab guys, we don't have that much RAM. So why 10? Just, so I wonder. So let's configure management network now. IP configuration, we're gonna set static IP address 192.168.15.15. Oops. Default gateway, yeah, that's great. We can set up. And then DNS configuration. It's where use the following DNS settings: 192.168.15.222. And the host name is gonna be ESXi0. Oh, sorry, VSSA VM Lab. So press enter. Custom DNS. We get rid of that, and we can press exit. Yes, we restart the network interface. It's gonna save the settings. It's gonna take quite some time. Really, quite some time. Mostly with just 4 gigabytes of RAM. I don't even think it's gonna let us launch with that insane amount of RAM that we got. Insane. Let's try an lookup VCSA VM Lab. Is it VCSA, right? Yeah. So we could try ping VCSA VM Lab. It's gonna be ready anytime soon. Oh, yeah, we got a reply. So as you can see, it functions. Sent 4, received 4, lost 0% loss. That's a great sign. Okay, so we gotta go back to the main screen so that we can know once it's ready for the setup itself. It's definitely not ready yet. Please visit the following URL to configure this appliance: VCSA VM Lab 480. Okay, so let's go back to Windows Server 2012. We're gonna be using it for the management as well. Because even though we could do from my machine, from the host, it would not let us use the fancy addresses that we set up because it's not under the same domain. So it hasn't joined the domain at all. So we wouldn't have all, you know, we couldn't go like VCSA VM Lab. It would not load at all. Because it doesn't know how to translate that address into an IP. And this one does because it's set up we made it like that. You know, on part 1 of the video, we set that up. So yeah, let's go to VCSA. Oh my god, it's so slow with just half a gigabyte of RAM. That's what we can do. I mean, we don't have an option, do we? VCSA. Oh, I forgot HTTPS. It's pretty slow. VCSA VMlab 5480. And it goes. Have we got it right? 5480. Yeah, VCSA. CSA is not getting anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Oh my god. Have I just screwed up big time? 1515. I should just go by the IP itself, because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It's probably the RAM though, because as you can see, the system doesn't let me. Oh my god, it's bad news. Bad news, bad news. Oh. Yikes. Oh, there you go. System's finally responding. It's gonna throw us the warning, and yeah, 500 megabytes of RAM is just not enough. System's just well, yeah, that's what we got, right? So we click on advanced, proceed. Oh my god, why is it so slow? VMware appliance management. Jesus Christ, it's so slow. Why is it so slow? Ah, you know what? I'm gonna use the browser. It's just pointless not to use the browser. I'm gonna choose 681515. Ah, it doesn't let me go there. Huh. Even though it's the same IP, you just have to go HTTPS 15.8. Problem loading page advanced. Yeah, exception. I don't care. Yeah, confirm security exception. Alright, so let me show you guys my screen again, because we're ready to go. Finally, it took a bit. Oh, we're not even done with the RPM installation. As you can see, the system was scrolling a little bit there, but we're at 89% done, and then so far so good. We haven't had any sort of errors. I don't know if it's gonna show up once we click on setup, and then maybe it could be the case right there, but so far it's 89% and nothing bad happened so far. 95. Look at that. Okay, maybe not too bad. We could even close the browser on the main controller. Yeah. So there you go, we're ready here. Let me just open the main controller again. Here we go. Let's close the browser, because we don't need to eat that RAM. We gotta save as much RAM as possible. So setup, type in a password, click next, and installing vCenter server appliance is a two-stage process. First stage has been completed. Click next. So now it's gonna retrieve the network settings, which are apparently correct. Default gateway, synchronized time, SSH access. We could disable that, doesn't matter. I mean, it could be handy for vCenter high availability. Enable SSH. So yeah, let's get SSH enabled. I don't think it's gonna make a difference. System name VSSA VMlab. We've made the test. It's working. We double checked. So we click next. Now we gotta proceed to the single sign-on login. Save an IP. No RAM issues so far, which is amazing. I'm surprised. I don't know if it's gonna show it later, but so far so good. No. Amazing. Okay, It's slowing down way too much. And there you go. So we're gonna go with vSphere local. So it has to be a FQDN address as well. So as I don't have a domain assigned other than VMlab, let's just go with vSphere local admin and set up the password. There you go. We can click on next. It's gonna save parameters. Now I don't want to join that. It's just for this test. It's not like I'm gonna use that frequently. It's just for now, and I'm gonna get rid of that forever. You will not be able to pause or stop the install for. Okay, so from here things are gonna get pretty crazy RAM wise, so I might as well have to stop the video at some point because of RAM usage. I'll be watching that closely, and if it gets too crazy, if it gets like surrounding the 95% area, I'm gonna have to stop the video, but then I'm gonna go on after the process is done, because there's not a lot to do other than watching a bar, progress bar. So from now on it's just about watching stuff, you know, just watch the bar growing, and that's all. So I'm gonna record most of it though. I'm just gonna stop around the end when it gets insane. And when I mean insane, I mean really insane. It just takes your whole... Oh, I forgot about something though. We're just with 4 gigs. That's not gonna happen. I forgot about that. Is it even gonna let me install with just 4? That's what I'm wondering. Is it really gonna let me do that? I hope it does, because then we can have 2 hosts with VMs in there, because we're gonna have some extra we're gonna have some extra room for that, you know. It's 0% scary though. I think DNS is not working, because usually it goes straight to 2%. Scary. Is DNS working? My god, don't tell me it crashed. Ping VCSA VM lab. Okay, we have a response. Let's look up VSSA VM lab. Yeah, it does work. VCSA VM lab 192.168.15.15. It's there. It's alive. It lives. So back to the settings. Oh yeah, we got 2%, means we made it past that part. So if it's gonna fail, it's gonna fail after that. A lot after. Like, it fails around 50% sometimes, around 50-60%. But if you go past 2%, it means the DNS settings are correct. And if it fails past 50%, it's hardware issues mostly. Oh, now you just gotta see and wait. It's gonna be much slower because of the RAM. It's a less RAM, so ooh, it's 80%. Even though I'm using just 4 gigs, but it's at 80%. Believe it or not. Oh my god. Okay, that's scary. Imagine without the RAM change, because like Streamlabs taking 600 megabytes, and then we have the Windows Server VM, we have the Synology VM for the storage, which we're gonna need as well, because every corporate server has an NAS for the VMs, where you gotta store the VMs, and then vCenter itself. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I hope my RAM holds up, because things are about to get crazy. And slow. Crazy slow. Maybe I should even stop the video around here and make a part 3 after it's ready. Maybe that's the best way to do things, because it's gonna take a while. The video is gonna be like 1 hour long. because you know we got just 4 gigs of RAM. It's gonna be insanely long. So next video could be like how to use vCenter itself, how to log into vCenter, how to add the VMs, how to manage the virtual machines, how to manage the licenses and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that really, because it's gonna take a lot of time. With 10 gigs it's fast, but we're talking about just 4. So RAM is definitely an issue here. Let me even check my this barely getting is just 6% of it, but memory is fully being the bottleneck here. It's gonna take ages. And so yeah, I'm gonna see you guys once it's done. Which is soon, of course. It's not gonna, it's not like it's gonna take a day, but you know, for a video, it's definitely gonna disrupt the whole harmony. So yeah, see you guys soon. Take care and adios.